Hi, Holden. It's Dr. Z. I just wanted to give you some comments in regard to your essay. I had a conference set up for you for yesterday. I know we already talked last week, so since you didn't show up to that conference, that's fine. I'm going to give you some just some feedback here. So in looking over your essay, I think you're getting there. I'd love to see you edit it some more and work on it a little bit more to get you the grade that you would like to get. I believe from talking before, we focused on this being the point that you were trying to make, your thesis. I'm still not seeing that in your introduction, Holden, so you need to, what you say here does not go with everything that you're talking about here. So what you need to do is write a thesis statement and think about a way to be able to answer this question, and that answering that question is going to be your thesis statement. Okay. Everything you talk about here is informational, which is great. But you need to make your point about what your paper is going to be about. And this is what it's about. Okay. So that's one of the things that I stressed here, that you need to make a point in relation to freedom of expression and or access to information. For body paragraph number 1, I feel like this is another thing that you're going to need to add. I'm going to put that right here. Can you just give us a brief explanation of what fake news is? What is it? What's your point that you're making about it and or misinformation? And maybe just something brief. Where is it? Is it everywhere? Where do you find it? And use 2 sources. We found quite a few sources for you, so I think you'll be able to do that in a short paragraph. Here then, for body paragraph number 2, you talk about the U.S. government has sent out misleading information. You have 2 sources there. I think the biggest thing that I want you to try to do is to try to be objective. Make your point. You can just say, you don't have to say from day one. What you might want to just say is the U.S. government has sent out. That takes the opinion out and it just makes a statement. Okay, so that could be a way that you can just try to make this a little bit more objective sounding. And like I said down here, it's hard to do when we're in the middle of all of this, but there you go. You do have your 2 sources in that. For body paragraph number 3, you talk about the lack of information coming out of China. Good. I think that's good. Again, you need 2 sources here. There's only one, and continue to keep it objective. So this is actually a pretty good statement. The lack of information has ignited the Chinese social media. I think that's a good point. But we have to make sure that you are sourcing, telling us where this information came from. You didn't come up with that out of your own head. So where did you find that information? So even when you're paraphrasing, you've got to make sure that you cite those sources, okay? And then your next body paragraph is more about fake news and social media. So let me kind of put that in here. You definitely need 2 sources there. So I think this is good. Social media has had a whole outburst. You might want to be a little bit more specific there. Has it had an outburst of, let me put a comment in here. Has it had an outburst of fake news? Misinformation. So if you could just make that a little bit more clear, that would be great. So those are some things that I want you to kind of be thinking about. And then the other thing that I would like you to add, because this is part of the prompt, right, for number 5, I need you to add another paragraph. How do we spot fake news? Because if you look up here in the point, what should individuals do to protect themselves from disinformation? So we need to make sure that you have that addressed. So you need to shore up those body paragraphs. I'd like you to try to add another, just a brief explanation of fake news before you get started on the US government, and then adding another paragraph here on how to spot fake news. And again, my final thing to say, Holden, is just try to keep it as objective as you can. Things like from day one or other things like that, you want to try to keep it your opinion out of it, even though this is your opinion. You want to try to keep it objective and based out of the sources and the information that you have read. So think about it that way, okay? So hopefully that'll help you as you are tidying this up and revising the draft that you have created. Send me a message if you want. We can meet one more time before tomorrow night when this is due, if you want to go that route. All right. Take care, Holden. Bye.